Yes, it happened again. Luka Doncic destroyed the Los Angeles Clippers. But will Luka Doncic eventually carry the Dallas Mavericks to beating the Los Angeles Clippers? And will the Dallas Mavericks make a deep run in the playoffs? Both of those questions will be answered in this video. Luka Doncic last night got 31 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists, which is crazy. He pretty much carried the Dallas Mavericks that game. This specific matchup is really important because last season, on this exact same scenario in the playoffs against the LA Clippers, Luka dropped the 42-point bomb. And last season in that game, he lost. So this game was kind of a revenge tour. What's even better for the Dallas Mavericks is that the head coach of the team, Rick Carlisle, says that Luka Doncic is best when he plays in the playoffs. What if Luka Doncic can consistently get these 30-point triple-doubles in the postseason? That would be insane, and the Dallas Mavericks might win a ring that way. One thing I noticed a lot in the Clippers versus Mavericks game was that Luka Doncic was being double-teamed. A lot. And in a post-game interview, the Mavericks head coach said this.
Luka's seen virtually every coverage known to mankind, every kind of double team, every kind of switching scenario, switching and then, double teaming, 30 feet away from the basket, et cetera, et cetera. He's a very unique player for a 22-year-old, the level of poise that he has, and his ability to slow down the game to see what's going on. Even when the clock is at 6 or 7 seconds, he still is able to slow it down and hold that ball just long enough to get a teammate a great look. So
yes, you heard it. He gets double teamed a lot. But Luka Doncic brought up a good point on when he gets double teamed.
I think I just gotta adjust. When they don't double, attack it. But when they double, there's somebody who's gonna be open. And just gotta read the game, and that's the point for me.
Even if he gets double teamed, he's going to find a very creative way to get a bucket or an assist. It's crazy to think that a 22-year-old can take out Paul George and Kawhi Leonard by himself. The Dallas Mavericks last season were really close to beating the Los Angeles Clippers in the playoffs. And this season, it's virtually the same scenario, with the only difference being minor adjustments to both teams. It's kind of like a second chance for the Dallas Mavericks. I have a very shocking fact. The last time the Dallas Mavericks had a Game 1 victory in the playoffs was on May 7th, 2011. Luka Doncic was 12 years old when that happened. And he just broke a 10-year streak for the Dallas Mavericks just like that. Remember how the Los Angeles Clippers last season fell into obscurity? They choked so hard in the playoffs last season. Because of that, they had a very bad reputation. Now Luka Doncic is facing that same team. It would be extremely embarrassing for Doncic if he lost to that same choking Clippers team. So maybe that might be some motivation for him. To add on to why I think the Mavericks will beat the Los Angeles Clippers is because Luka said, "I don't care about MVPs. We have amazing players in this league, but the main goal is to win a championship." This shows Luka's desire to win and not just focusing on his own personal game. One thing that I have been hearing is that the Dallas Mavericks are going to lose to the Clippers due to the NBA referees hating Luka Doncic. Now, there is some reasoning for this. He has had multiple outrages on refs, or some of them made really dumb calls, but when it comes to the playoffs, it would be pretty obvious if a referee was being biased or not. And I don't think being biased for a ref is exactly allowed, but if it does happen, the NBA will probably fire that referee, but I think Luka is safe when it comes to refs. I have a shocking statistic. There are only 2 players in the NBA that average at least 40 points per game per 100 possessions. Wanna know who those players are? Giannis Antetokounmpo and Luka Doncic. That is some pretty decent company. And while we're on that topic, Luka Doncic per 100 possessions is averaging 40 points, 12 rebounds, and 12 assists. This is of course absurd, but he is also doing it while playing winning basketball. Luka Doncic against the Los Angeles Clippers last night said that game was Easy. If that game was easy, then I wonder what this whole series will be for Luka Doncic. Keep in mind, he's playing against Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. If he is casually facing off against those two, then the series is over. I'm sorry, but that is just the flat-out truth. As I mentioned before, Luka Doncic gets heavily double-teamed, and Shaquille O'Neal asked this to Luka Doncic.
Luka, Shaq here. No doubt you're a great player. At what age did you learn how to trust your teammates? Because the true definition of a great player is one that keeps his guys involved. We all know you have the ability to shoot over people, go around people, but at what age did you learn to draw the double team and then kick it to your teammates?
I mean, I think in Europe, obviously in Europe, the first thing they teach you is post up and passing. That's the first thing they teach you. So, I think since EuroLeague, when the court is smaller, they always double team. And, just learning to play every game like that.
He said you learn to pass and post up as early as you play basketball. He learned how to get out of a double team by doing an insane pass. At the start of the video, I said I'd answer the question, are the Dallas Mavericks going to make a deep run in the playoffs? Well, they have a 50-50 chance of beating the Los Angeles Clippers. From there, as long as Doncic plays well, and of course the entire team plays well with no injuries, then sure, they could make a pretty significant run. Maybe even to the Western Conference Finals. If the entire team besides Luka doesn't play well, then Luka Doncic can't pass it to anyone. But I think the Mavericks will do just fine in the playoffs. And the second question, will Luka Doncic carry the Dallas Mavericks to beating the Los Angeles Clippers? Now, hold on. The phrase carry is a pretty strong phrase in basketball. Carry means that you have no good help, and you have to do everything yourself. A good example of carrying is the 2009 LeBron James. The best player besides LeBron James on that roster was... You can make your own decision. My point is not very many good players, but LeBron carried that team to being a 66-win team. Luka Doncic has Kristaps Porzingis, which, don't get me wrong, isn't any extraordinary help. He is still an all-star caliber player. Luka also has Tim Hardaway Jr. He is a great player averaging 17 a game. He also has JJ Redick, who is an extremely good three-point shooter. While Luka Doncic is by far the best player on the Dallas Mavericks, he isn't necessarily carrying the Dallas Mavericks. I have a shocking fact. Only 2% of my viewers are subscribed. What? That is such a low percentage. So if you're a part of the 98% that isn't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. We're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. We are at the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed. I'm Vrun, and that's my take. Peace.